people have this faulty position on athletics that don't participate in them, and they think of athletics as being something that is for the body. It's not a smart pursuit. It's a dumb pursuit. It's like a physical thing. It's not a mental thing, but they're not right. They're incorrect. There's a giant amount of success in athletics that are about not just mental states, but about discipline, which is also that discipline is a part of the mind, right?
Yes.
We all agree to that. But so is the ability to perform under pressure. So is the ability to deal with a loss and sort of reestablish yourself and come back feeling better. The feeling that you get of the shame of loss is very valuable, and that's a mental thing. And there's mental sort of challenges that you acquire from sports that I don't think are available in any other way. I think you get different mental challenges, and there's different lessons that can be learned from academic pursuits, but there's mental challenges that you only get from athletic pursuits. You only get when you have to force your body to keep going, even though your mind is exhausted, your body's exhausted, and your will is leaving you, and there's parts of you that are telling you to quit. And you have to learn how to manage that. And that is a mental thing. But it's a mental thing in a different way than calculus is. It's a mental thing in a different way than learning languages. But it's equally as difficult.
I think one of the things I think a lot about and that I dislike, like if I was like, describe a philosopher, it'd be like university professor, turtleneck, like tweed, jacket with pads on it or whatever. Like you'd think of a weakling. And in the ancient world, like philosophers were people who did shit, right? Like
they were warriors.
They were kings, like Marcus Aurelius Hunts. There's an early Stoic who's a distance runner, one who's a boxer. Like, and what I love when you really read the Stoic text is like that their metaphors are all sport. It's wrestling and fighting and running and hunting because they did those things.
Those things are difficult.
Yes.
And difficult things are good for you. And they're good for your mind. That's what people don't understand that don't pursue them. In America, unfortunately, there's this sort of intellectual elitism. There's this mindset that some very smart people have, because they're very good at certain intellectual pursuits, and they look down upon pursuits that are physical in nature because of this sort of prejudice. They have this idea, and I think it's also like a fear of encountering something that you're not good at, or something that's going to humiliate you, and something that's going to make you feel bad. It's like it maybe came from gym class, maybe came from being forced to participate in sports when they were younger and they didn't enjoy it. So they have this thing in their head that there's no value there.
Yeah. Seneca says, we treat the body rigorously so that it will not be disobedient to the mind.
Ooh.
I like that.
That's good. That's good.
Like when I crank the knob to cold in the shower, or I push myself when I'm running or lifting weights or swimming or whatever, I feel like part of what that is an assertion about who's in charge.
Yes. That's what my friend John Joseph says. John Joseph is a lead singer of the Cro-Mags, but he's also done like a shit ton of Ironmans. He has got this great saying about doing an Ironman. He goes, that's when your mind has to tell your body who the fuck's in charge.
Yeah.
It's like, and you hear it with his heavy New York accent. It's beautiful. But that's what it is. It's like you have to be able to endure. You have to be able to tell your body that this is what we do. And the more you do it, the easier it is, man. I made a video about it today when I was doing the cold plunge, because it's so much easier than it used to be, but it's still hard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just easy because I'm accustomed to the grind of it, because I do it every day. So I just get in there, or almost every day. But it's like there's something to that that's so valuable that doesn't get emphasized enough in our modern day conversations. And it doesn't get emphasized in media. It doesn't get talked about. It's like you have to search for that. You have to search for this idea that struggle is difficult. Or, like the title of your book, the obstacle is the way. Like getting through things is how you build a stronger foundation. It's how you develop character. It's how the mind understands how to manage difficult situations.
Well, and I think it's a transferable skill. So like,
yes,
you're doing it in the cold plunge or running or fighting or whatever. And then when you're like, when I'm working on a book and books are hard, you know, and they're like halfway through, I'm like, this isn't coming together. This sucks. Should I stop? I'm like, I know this feeling very well. And I know that you don't listen to this feeling. So like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to build that familiar, because you're going to go through hard things in life, and you want to have cultivated a sense of like not quitting when things are hard.
Yes.